Hello YouTube family, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Sharita, and in today's video, first of all, I'm back from vacation, fresh off the plane, a couple days actually, so still very jet lagged. But in today's video, we are going to talk about some beautiful fragrances that will help transition you into summer. Summer is right around the corner, and what I love about this list is we have a mix of more elevated and refined fragrances, and on the other end of that spectrum, we have some really fun, fruity, and classic summer scents. All of these have just a little bit of warmth and maybe sweetness to them, so that again we're helping transition you into full-on summer fragrances. And I just think that this list has some phenomenal picks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into today's video. So the first fragrance on today's list is from a house newer to me. It's not a new house, but for some reason I have never actually tried these fragrances when in my local Sephora, even though I have seen them on display. Revel is the latest release from the Maker, and I picked up a travel online just based off of the notes. It sounded like something really fun and fruity and flirty, and that's exactly what I got. And I'm going to go ahead and say that I find this to be full bottle worthy. This is a really beautiful take on pineapple and lychee. You also have a little bit of raspberry in the top notes of this fragrance, but as it starts to develop and dry down, you are getting the most beautiful, creamy, sweet gardenia and frangipani mix. So it really is a wonderful ode to fruity and summer fragrances, but there is again a touch of sweetness that comes across in this fragrance with a really gorgeous base of musky, vanilla, creamy sandalwood. So if you are in the market for a really fun, playful, sweet pineapple scent with some floral nuances, but also really easy to wear, then I highly recommend you check out Revel from the Maker. Next is an affordable fragrance from the house of Julianas Perfumes. This is a concoction of two different Kilian fragrances, all blended into one affordable, easy to wear, fun fragrance that really does have me in a chokehold. This is, I'm gonna go out on the limb and say, my favorite from the house of Julianas Perfumes, and this is Miss Independent with rum drizzled apples. So Miss Independent is their take on Kilian's Princess, and I love that fragrance. If you are new here, I have gone through a full bottle of it. My daughter loves it, and I have not repurchased the Kilian because I found that the Miss Independent smells so similar. They're like spot on dupes, and this is just a much more affordable brand. They perform very similarly, and I just can't really see shelling out the coins for the Kilian version of the fragrance Princess when I can get it for under $40. Okay, so we're like on bottle number 3 in this household of Miss Independent, if that tells you anything. And what they have done is they blended the Kilian Princess scent with rum drizzled apples, which is their version of Kilian's apple brandy on the rocks. So if you're not familiar with that fragrance, I think it's like a little boozy pineapple. There's a freshness to it, there's a sweetness to it. It really is a phenomenal Kilian fragrance. I did own that one at one point, but when you blend these two really unlikely scents together, like I would have never thought of blending these, but it is magic. It is truly a delicious, fun, fruity scent that gives that Kilian elevated scent profile. That is what I get from this, and it is one I highly recommend you try out from the brand. If you're looking for a phenomenal summer fragrance that's a little sweet, a little playful, you have got to check this one out. So this one has top notes of lemon, bergamot, heart notes of green tea, brandy, rum, ginger, peach, hedione, jasmine, apple, vanilla, and moss, and you have base notes of marshmallow, ambroxan, vanilla, and benzoin. So to me, this one has a little bit more of the apple brandy on the rocks, and I mean right underlying that is going to be that Miss Independent. You really are getting both of them, but if I could tell you which one shines just a little bit more in this blend, it will be the apple brandy. But this is just so much more feminine and one I really do enjoy. Again, this one is Miss Independent with rum drizzled apples from the house of Julianas Perfume. So let's get into two body mists next. These are all over hair and body sprays, and they're both from the house of Flur, and I have decided to blend their latest release Peach Skin with Vanilla Skin, which is one of my favorite Flur body mists like of all time. All right, so both of these are phenomenal on their own. This new Peach Skin skin, I'm telling you, if you want an elevated body mist, that is where Flur really shines. And peach skin is so unexpected. It's sweet, it's sexy, and you're getting something that really does give you the texture and like that feeling of the peach skin. It really doesn't give you like the inner part of the peach where you bite into it, it's juicy, you know, you get that fruity aspect. It really is giving you more of the skin, which makes it unique. So this actually features a peach skin accord. You've got a Bellini accord also mentioned with some bergamot, and you have hard notes of white freesia, vanilla orchid, jasmine nectar with base notes of a milky sandalwood, sheer amber, and coconut caramel. And what I love about this is that sandalwood. The sandalwood is very prominent in here, but it is definitely sharing that spotlight with those really sweet coconut caramel ambery facets. And I just think they did a stunning job with this. But baby, when you layer it with vanilla skin, what you're going to really smell like is a more transparent, less in your face, but equally as beautiful and sweet and intoxicating as Donna Karan's Cashmere and Palo Santo. That is what I get when I layer these. Again, the Donna Karan perfume is going to be much bolder in your face. This is giving you a scent very reminiscent of that if you blend these two, but lighter and transparent, which is going to make it much easier to wear in the summer. And what I love about these, honey, just throw these in your bag. You're going to the beach, you just want to smell delicious, intoxicating, but not doing too much. This is exactly what these are made for, okay? So definitely check these releases out from Flur. Again, if you're looking for sophisticated smell like perfume body mist, then this is exactly where Flur shines. Again, this one is peach skin and vanilla skin from the house of Flur. Oh, and a quick mention, I know y'all are probably going to ask me about the glow, and trust me, it is not because I'm fresh off from vacation. I'm not rested at all. Again, the jet lag is really, it's really messing me up. Like, I didn't go to bed till 4 a.m. all right? Had to get up at 8 to film. This One Size powder melts. The glass skin setting spray is giving glass skin. Y'all, I don't have on no highlighter. I don't have on no highlighter. And it does exactly what it says it's supposed to do. It's going to give you glass skin, but it's going to lock that makeup in place. And you are going to be glowing. You're going to be glowing. Okay, I just had to take a little intermission to mention that because you all sometimes will ask me, how do you get the glow? Today, the glow is all because of this setting mist. I only sprayed it on the outer perimeter because I didn't want a shiny, greasy look on the center of my face. We want to be matte here but glowing here. Okay, so that is my recommendation beauty wise for today's video. All right, so let's get into a fragrance that is going to give you this nutty gourmand facet, okay, but there is something still a little fresh and musky and just a little versatile about the way this wears. I made a decant of Electonique from Scentologia, and I took it with me on vacation to Tokyo. And this is one that I just kept spraying. I was really enjoying the way I smelled throughout the day because I wanted to take more so fresher fragrances, but fresher ones that still spoke to me. So I still had something, you know, gave a little bit of sweet, some a little floral, some a little vanilla, but I wanted things that had an underlying freshness to them because I didn't want anything too bold and too out there for the culture that I was about to immerse myself in. If you know anything about the culture, it's not, you know, a place where you want to take the ouds and the roses and the blaringly loud sweet gourmands. Like, it's just not the time and place in my opinion. But this fragrance really did give me so much enjoyment, and that's why I'm going to recommend it as a wonderful transition fragrance for someone who really does enjoy the gourmand, okay, who really does enjoy nutty fragrances, but that wants something with a clean air to it. And that is exactly what this gives. So you're going to get something that smells a little sophisticated, a little refined, really easy to wear, but has a focus on that woody, clean ambroxan type of vibe. That's what I get from this. And I think that if you love the sound of a fresher ambroxan sandalwood type of nutty gourmand scent, then you would absolutely need to get a sample of this one. Scent Split has the samples and full bottles of various size decants because that is where I picked up mine. And I just think that if you enjoyed notes like coconut, ambroxan, pistachio, then you cannot go wrong wrong with this fragrance. So this one opens with almond, milk, coconut, mandarin, and bergamot. You have middle notes of lily of the valley, pistachio, Elangyulang, and you have base notes of sandalwood, vanilla, caramel, and ambrose star. And what I love about it is you are really getting pistachio. You're getting pistachio. You're getting slightly lactonic. It's not overly lactonic in a dairy milk creamy way. This really is giving you this creamy blend from that coconut almond milk mix. So if you don't like those really true to form milk notes, I really think that this is not one you have to fear. It's not going to give you like this Blanche Bet Bianco latte thick 100%. We're talking dairy milk lactonic vibes. It's not going to wear in that way. Again, think nutty, ambroxan, fresher, but still enjoying that sweetness. All right. So again, this one is LAC.TON.IC, and this is from Scentologia. Next up is one of the prettiest yellow florals in my entire collection, and this is going to be a classic for this time of year. It is Elangyulang Nosy B, and this is without a doubt all about the Elangyulang, and you have got to love yellow florals, particularly that one, to go anywhere near this fragrance, because that is first and foremost what you're going to get. I do love the underlying complexities, the bold sweetness of this fragrance, and this is really a stunning, elegant, very sweet fragrance that is floral, but I just love the way everything is balanced. You do get the jasmine that they mention in here, and I just love the way the yellow florals are done. I really do. So as mentioned, you have to love that Elangyulang because it is featured in the top, the mid, and the base. So it opens with Elangyulang, cardamom, grapefruit, and lemon. Middle notes, you have jasmine, Elangyulang, orange blossom, and damask rose. And in the base, you have more Elangyulang, vanilla, labdanum, cedar, vetiver, and Phil Scabios. I don't know what that last floral is, but again, I just love the way everything comes together in this fragrance. It has amazing projection, sillage, longevity, all of that. And this is one that I just love to layer with when summer hits. I layer it with things that are a little sweeter. I layer it with the ones that are less sweet that I want to sweeten up. It is just a phenomenal scent. And even though it is not new to the market, this is just one that you will see people kind of bring out every year for their summer videos. And this is going to be wonderful to transition you because, you know, even though it is spring, still in the earlier part of the day, it can be quite cool just depending on where you live. And this has enough girth where it's going to get you through cooler part of the day, and it's still going to shine as it begins to heat up. So it is really a highly recommended fragrance, and one that I just cannot get enough of when this time of year rolls around. Again, this is Elangyulang Nosy B, and this is from the House of Paris Monte Carlo. Next is from the House of Mise en Serre, and this is Poudre d'Or. I have ranted and raved about this fragrance so much over the years. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but if you have never tried this fragrance, if you love tiare flower, if you love powdery, I mean, you really got to love powdery to vibe with this one. If the word Poudre is in the name, you've got to be a powdery fragrance lover. Make no mistake. And I just think that this is one of the most unique and stunning powdery fragrances that really do speak to summer. It has lots of vanilla, but the star is without a doubt going to be that beautiful interplay of the white tiare flower and that purple iris. So it is equally white floral, definitely thinking summer white florals, and powdery from that purple. So this one opens with tiare flower and jasmine. You have middle notes of musk and iris, and you have base notes of Madagascar vanilla and sandalwood. Very creamy sandalwood. Again, the white florals, very creamy take on it. The iris, super powdery. And again, it is just a really bright solar take on a powdery fragrance. That is how I would describe it. It's almost like the sun is hitting your skin but better, and the powdery doesn't feel dusty. It feels like it's being warmed from the glare of the sun. So if that sounds like a beautiful picture that I painted and that really just sparks your interest, get a sample of this one because it is super elegant. She is very, chic, okay? This is white Oxford, you know, with a little cardigan tied around. She's got on her loafers. She has a luxury handbag, hair tied up, and she's wearing her gold pieces, all right? Very elevated, put together, very casual, chic, and elegant. That is Poudre d'Or to sum it up, and you need this one in your life for sure. Again, from the house of Mise en Serre. Next up is another pineapple bomb, but this one leans just a little bit more unisex, whereas I feel like the Revel leans just a little bit more feminine. This one is Rosendo Matus number 8. This is sexy, okay? It's exotic musk, it's pineapple, it's ambery, it's sweet. There's an underlying freshness to it, and you've got a beautiful dose of vanilla that is just adding to the intoxication of it all. This to me, even though there is this underlying freshness, something about this fragrance really does speak to summer nights. Like, we're on a date, okay? Date night, hot outside, but we want to smell exotic, tropical, sweet, seductive. This is absolutely perfect for this time of year. It's gonna work in, you know, nights where it's maybe a little cooler of a breeze, and on up until, you know, really hot, humid nights. I don't know why I keep saying night. You could wear this in the day, but something about the sexy quality of this, even though it is fun, it is flirty, it is fruity, something about it just gives nighttime. I don't know if it is the cedar in the base, that cedar vetiver, which gives it that unisex edge. Something about it just screams sensuality to me. It's borderline titillating. It really is. So if you are looking for something that is fruity but sexy and easy to wear, then check this one out. It features top notes of pineapple, green apple, pear, and citruses, middle notes of cinnamon, iris, amber, Bulgarian rose, and patchouli, and you have base notes of vanilla, cedar, guaiaquil, and vetiver. Again, this one is a Rosendo Matus number 8, a must-try fragrance that will transition you perfectly into summer. So this next fragrance I will put into the same category of, for some reason, we're giving fun and fruity and flirty, but sexy date night vibes. I don't know why, okay? But Karaoka Heart. Fun, boozy, fruity, flirty, amazing performance, like in a bottle. It was such a hit, continued to sell out. I think maybe a couple years ago when this was released, but this is one I cannot wait to wear for this summer. And I just think because it's got that really sweet vanilla base, you know, the rum, it has enough heft to it where it's going to be great for transitioning. This one, to me personally, I think it may be a bit much for someone when it's 90 degrees outside, the humidity is, you know, on 100, like it will be very soon here in Georgia. But Karaoka Heart is just a layer of sweetness to this and lots of rum, so it may be too much for some, which is going to make it the perfect time of year to go ahead and get some wears in for this one. Now, if you're like me, I love sweet, I love heavier wearing fragrances all year, so I'm still going to be wearing mine throughout, you know, the dead heat, the high heat of summer, but again, perfect transitioning fragrance. So this one opens with notes of mango, pineapple, and lemon. You have middle notes of sandalwood, peony, and rum, and you have base notes of vanilla, ambroxan, and labdanum. So the labdanum, the rum, that is why it gives you like this really sexy edge. So that is what is going to give you a really sexy edge. Again, this one for me is easy to wear, but some think the rum is just a little bit too much. So if you are in that category of people where you're really sensitive to boozy notes, rum notes, sample it first, okay? Juicebox, it is not cheap. It is a niche brand, and you think you're getting a lot, but baby, like half this bottle is glass. It's just the glass design. It feels like you're, you know, oh, the bottle's heavy in my hand. The bottle is a nice size, but yeah, you're only getting 2.6 fluid ounces. So keep that in mind. All of these, I would definitely say try before you buy, because you just never know. But this one, a hit, really hyped upon release and totally justified in my opinion, because I love this fragrance. Again, this one is Karaoka Heart, and this is from the house of Juicebox. Last but not least is from the house of City Rhythm, and this is Miami, the original. Y'all know I always rave about Miami Tropical Confession, which is kind of a flanker of. This is the original Miami, and this is for someone who loves coconut, lime fragrances, but you want something, again, with a rum, sexy, boozy edge. Like, you really are getting that. This is giving you summer nights in Miami on the beach. The cocktails are really running over. and you are just enjoying the night life. They have figured out a way to bottle up, you know, what I just described. They bottled it up and they put it in a fragrance because that is exactly what this embodies. A fun summer night out. So you have top notes of coconut, which you get so much delicious creamy coconut. You also have lime and saffron. In the mid, you have sugar cane, jasmine, Elangyulang, osmanthus. And in the base, you have some tobacco leaf, tonka bean, rum, ambergris, and cedar. These perform amazingly well. Everything from this house. And this is going to be one that is quite unisex. I think you do have to enjoy unisex, sweet, but I don't think this leans overly masculine at all. But again, pay attention to the notes like rum. If that bothers you, if it can easily make something smell masculine to you along with tobacco leaf, then try it first if you can. I know typically this one, I think they may have samples at Scent Split, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I just checked. They have samples at Scent Split. So try this one out. If you're looking for something even bolder, a little sweeter, then I would say sample the Tropical Confessions version of it. I think that one also too lends just a little bit more feminine, but it is a lot sweeter and a lot louder. But this is a stunner, and this is going to be perfect for a transition into summer fragrance. It's going to get you in the mood, in the mode for all things vacation vibes. All right, so that is my list for today, you all. I hope you really did enjoy this. I hope you are happy to see me back. I know I'm happy to be back working and connecting with you all. So please drop me a line below and let me know fragrances that you cannot wait to pull out for this summer. What are you wearing to transition you into these really hot summer days that are upon us here in the US anyway? But that is it for me, you guys. Make sure that you are subscribed and that you have the notification bell set on so that you don't miss any of my uploads. Also, make sure that you give it a big thumbs up if you found any value in the content. It has been real. I love you all, YouTube family, and I will catch you guys on the next one.